YouTube Ads is made for your business. Bring your brand to life with targeted video ads.
What's going on? What's going on, guys? We're gonna go ahead and get this stream started here within the next 2 minutes. So give me about 2 minutes. Go ahead and get myself situated here. As soon as I'm situated, I want everybody to go ahead and drop their cities in the chat. What city are you guys tuning in from? Drop them cities. Go ahead and drop them cities real quick for me, just so I can see who's tuning in. I'm gonna give you guys about 2 minutes, and then we're gonna get this thing on the road.
For the ones who know safety isn't.
Let's get it. So, for each and every single one of you guys on here, I'm gonna go ahead and get the call started off real quick. Let me just make sure we are good to go. For all of you guys just now tuning in, go ahead and drop those cities in the chat. Let me get my mic set up here. Let's get it. Let's get it. All right. So let me just go ahead and check the chat real quickly. We do got Orlando in the building. Shout out to you. I'm gonna put this on the other screen. Perfect. Perfect. So we got Orlando in the building. I see Dallas, Bakersfield, Richmond. See a lot of you guys in here in the chat. I'm gonna actually keep music going, just lower the volume if I could. Let me know if that's good for you guys. The music should not be too loud, but we should be good to get this stream started. If you're just now tuning in, go ahead and drop them cities in the chat. I see there is about 15 of you guys on here. I appreciate each and every single one of you guys for tuning in with me tonight on Sunday. You know, I think Sunday is one of the most important days of the week because it really gives you that structure and that plan. You know, when it comes down to it, if you don't have a plan, I mean, you're really just planning to fail, right? That's one of my biggest sayings that my mentors always told me. So if you guys don't know who I am, or if you guys have seen me in the past, let me just introduce myself one more time. My name is Kyle Hustles. I've been trading now for the past 6 years now, so I've seen weeks and weeks of the market for 6 years now. So if you do 52 weeks times 6, I mean, what is that? That's 312 new weeks that I've been trading. So 312 different Sundays that I've been able to look at the market and plan out the week. And I'll tell you guys from experience, the Sundays where, you know, I'm maybe out on the road, or, you know, out late the night before, or, you know, not really focused or locked in or really planned or journaled or went to the gym and really took care of everything that I had to take care of. I mean, sometimes the week was a good week still, right? But mentally I was like stressed and tired, and, you know, wasn't, and sometimes even aggravated to the point where it's like, you know, the next week off of that I might have a little bit of resentment towards the markets. Even though I had a good week, it was a stressful week, or I wasn't really prepared, and I had to adjust so many different times to the market, going up and down, swaying with back and forth between bullish and bearish, that, you know, you exhausted yourself mentally. And even though it was a good week, you know, you have that resentment build towards the market where you're probably now, you know, getting ready to trade even more aggressive this week. So, you know, you don't want to be looking at with your emotions, right? Really want to be just thinking logically, on a macro outlook, and you know, when it comes down to it, you'll win long term. So for all of you guys just now tuning in, I see my guy Free Zone Lou. Shout out to you. Always tapped in with the Profit Society since day one. And for you guys that have been on here in the past, you guys know, you know, we used to always be super duper active doing the weekly Sunday calls, and a lot of you guys really used to, you know, bang down our door to like do the Sunday call. Now, I used to do them over Zoom, specifically only for the private community. So, you know, with time, we tightened up a lot of things, and it was mainly only for the private community. But starting back now, I'm actually gonna start doing the Sundays and Wednesdays calls I'm gonna start back doing them live on YouTube for each and every single one of you guys, because one of the biggest requests I got was for the recordings of the sessions. Some of you guys may be at work, you might miss them, and one of the best things about YouTube is all the recordings are right here, organized for you guys, all here, like, you know, structured with the date and times, the pairs, everything right then and there. So, you know, I know my guy Lucy, I know that's his username, but his name's Jordan. He always texts me for the recordings. So when it comes down to it, you guys will have the Sundays and Wednesdays recordings here. For all of the other private live trading calls, those recordings will be in the bonus section of WAP. For all of you guys that are currently course students already, you guys, when you guys log into WAP, you guys can see all of your courses, and all of the private calls, the recordings are in the bonus section. But for now, you know, I hope you guys enjoy this value. For all of you guys that are tuning back in that may have been subscribed to us, or if you're new, go ahead and drop a 1 in the chat. This is your first time hopping on one of our streams. I want you to drop a 1 in the chat, because that's crazy, right? There's a lot of people here that have been tuning in for a while. I see my guy Danny Dog. I see my guy JR Trades. I bet. And one of the best things about this is, like, I could stream to like TikTok, you know, other platforms, Twitch, Kick, all from here. So let's get it. And it's also going to increase the community in the group chats that you guys are in trading with me. So show me some love. I want you guys to like and comment on this stream. At least just drop a like real quick, especially since it's free, and I'm going to be on here for the next hour or so with you guys. I will feature some other students and mentors, but for now I just wanted to do it for myself. So one of the first things that we do need to look at for this week is the actual macro outlook of things. We want to look at the economic calendar, and if this is something that you do not do, like, you need to go ahead and hop on this right now. So I'm gonna go ahead and drop the link in the chat to the Forex Factory, and I want you guys to bookmark this. This is what we're gonna look at every single week, just to make sure that we're up to date on all the major economic events happening in the market, right? A lot of the times these are the excuse to move price. I always say news is the excuse. You know, a lot of people, their mentor might tell them to not trade news, right? You know us here at the Profit Society, we don't shy away from the news, right? A lot of the times we're in trades like right at news, even like a day or two before news, and we highly anticipate these economic events to push the market further in our direction. So what we're gonna do is, I'm gonna look at Sunday through Friday. If you're getting some value from the stream so far, I want you to go ahead and drop a 333 in the chat. Let me know if you're getting some value. Also, you guys can feel free to actually share this link with any of the group chats that you're in, and let them know I'm live as well. We also have a little donation box right here. We accept donations. This channel is monetized, so I like this channel a lot. I have my own personal channel for you guys that, you know, want to subscribe to my personal channel. I'm actually going to be doing like a lot more like personal videos. So like whenever I hit like a good trade, or like, you know, I'm going on like a nice trip or something, I'm going to try to vlog it on the personal channel. But for the Profit Society, I'm going to try to keep this as business professional as possible, and then get a little bit more personal and up close with you guys on my personal channel. So when it comes down to it, we do have Easter today. It is a bank holiday for the US, so I most likely won't be taking any trades on any currency pairs. I was actually looking at Bitcoin, and you know, I didn't actually drop this, but you know, I was telling this to some of my inner circle students that are in a course, that I was looking for Bitcoin buys. And when it comes down to it, you know, up here was when we first started looking at it around Saturday. It did actually dip down and create what I like to call you know, this is one of our signature candles that we like to play. You know, it's a candle that sweeps liquidity, and you know, not only that, it opens back up on a higher structure. So this is what I like to call that live OB. So it's an order block that happens live in time. You know, definitely shout out to my guy Skags for coining the term, and you know, I'm just like running with it. But live OB is like the term I would like to give this. And you know, it doesn't actually meet the requirements like fully, but it being an engulfing and we're actually in the direction of the major trend would have been like a major reason why I would have took this trade right here. So when it comes down to it, what a live OB is it's basically a candle that closes back above the range. So like this right here is a range, and we broke out of that range, we swept liquidity, but then we closed back inside of the range, that same engulfing candle. And you know, when it comes down to it, we want to see if it closes on higher volume. It didn't actually close on higher volume, but just seeing the reaction of this 1 hour candlestick, the risk to reward was there, and that would have been like a great weekend trade, snack trade for any of you guys that were looking. And you know, I do just want to let you guys know that I am trading this on a leverage broker. So you know, there are prop firms out there. You guys know Prop Society is like really big on prop firms, but you know, I do just want to bring something to you guys' attention. If you guys are in my free Telegram chat, you probably already know, but there are 2 recommended brokers that I will be using for 2025. These brokers do have 1 to 500 leverage. There is no minimum deposit, and when it comes down to it, that leverage could really help you guys out a lot. A lot of prop firms, I want you guys to understand, they give you funding, so they give you the access to manage like 100K, 200K, 50K, all these type of things. But you know, I want you guys to understand the leverage is like 1 to 100, 1 to 200. So you know, everything, like there's literally no secret way out with this trading stuff. Like, even though you're getting access to like a whole bunch of capital that you get to trade with, you can hit great payouts as long as you actually go ahead and build up your cushion. I still have my take profit trader account, so if you guys are looking for an actual reputable prop firm that doesn't have any of these stupid payout rules, like you gotta wait a certain amount of days for your payouts, you gotta trade on a certain consistency for your payouts, you know, you guys gotta get over to Take Profit Trader. They have literally day 1 payouts, meaning you can pass your funded account in 1 phase. It's not 2 phases, and after you pass that 1 phase, as long as you get above the buffer zone, it's a certain profit requirement that they have, you can actually withdraw your funds on the same day that you pass, which is really cool. I don't really try to rush it and withdraw on the same day. I actually try to really maybe give it a week or so, just to like build up a cushion, just like I would on any regular funded account. I would do that. But when it comes down to it, you know, with small capital, you could do a lot as long as you have the right leverage. A lot of people kind of got away from it because a lot of MT5 brokers, it was the most convenient on MT5 because it was mobile, right? You could just be on the go and trade. Not saying that you can't do that with like Trade Locker or Top Step or Take Profit Trader or any of these platforms, but it's gotten like a lot more challenging, and people have not been able to break that barrier of like, you know, insane amounts of profits that they've been able to see. That's just from my perspective. A lot more people were definitely winning when it was like more mobile friendly for MT5. So these 2 brokers, Hanko Trade. So another thing is like I'm definitely connected with the ownership of any of the platforms that I'm going to be trading on. So Henko Trade just got under new ownership, and they have a new app called Act Trader. So if you look up Act Trader, you can actually download this on the App Store and test it out yourself. Like, I always like to really give people options. I'm not a bot. Here's the thing, like, there's a lot of these trading influencers that are literally bots, right? Like whenever I'm like showing somebody a new platform or a new broker, like there's always somebody that's like, oh, what about this broker? What about that broker? What about this? What about that? And it's just like, you know, until I see some of you guys actually downloading the app, funding an account, taking real live trades and sending those trades to other people, then I would not really recommend any platform, you know, or I wouldn't even hop on your platform or whatever platform that you're promoting or whatever, right? A lot of these people will just promote a platform because it's going to put more money in their pockets. They're going to promote a broker or a prop firm because it's going to put more money in their pockets. When it comes down to it, I actually stayed away from promoting certain links of brokers and prop firms and stuff because I didn't want people to say that about me. You know, I never really did that. But for me, I actually tested out these platforms. I've actually put money on the Act Trader platform and the app on Henko. I've actually put money into Next Trade Wave. With Next Trade Wave, they have MetaTrader 5 access. So if you like the Act Trader and you're actually doing great on there, like, you should be making money. You should be pulling out profits. You should be actually, you know, profiting. And if you're not, you need to stay tuned in. So the thing is, you know, once I got my first couple of profits from Henko Trade, I actually hopped on to the Next Trade Wave broker. So again, like, you know, the Next Trade Wave broker, you know, I'm actually connected to the owner of that as well. So they're really back on MetaTrader 5. Like, I'm literally trading on MetaTrader 5 right now. And I have a PAM that you guys can actually check out. So as soon as you register with the broker, like, it's 1 to 500 leverage on MT5. Literally, you could put 100, 200 bucks, fund up, actually take the trades, and then, you know, watch. You guys will see results when it comes down to it. Don't over leverage and whatnot. Like, there's certain risk calculators that you guys can use. You know, risk what you have, not what you don't have, right? I'm not a financial advisor, and by no means is this financial advice whatsoever. This is just for educational and entertainment purposes. But I've been seeing results, and so have my students. So when it comes down to it, if I'm seeing results with something, and I know that there is also a fail safe, that I know that I can contact somebody, I can reach out to somebody that's directly tied to the platform. Now if I have any issues withdrawing or depositing or trading, or you guys have any issues, now you guys are not left in the dark contacting a support chat, right? You guys have direct access with myself, and you guys have direct access by being on this link itself. So when it comes down to it, right, you could go with any other platform you want to in the world. You can go and fund up an account on anywhere, on freaking KOTFX, or, you know, Sway, or any of these other places. There's nothing against them. But if you want that direct access, and you want to be able to not go through a support chat and know that you have that safety net, then by all means use one of our suggested platforms, because it's out there, and I'm going to make sure that you guys win. So that's just my little spiel. You know, I want you guys to actually not just be on this call, just like, you know, looking at charts, making yourself feel good, and marking up things every week. I want you guys to actually put real money behind these trades and actually see that live in action with us. And if you guys watch any of our previous recordings, we put real live money live, like, with you guys in the trades. So I want you guys to see how we react live in action, and see how yourself reacts live in action, and you'll see what you're doing right, what you're doing wrong. You know, we have a lot of courses as well, so like, You know, we have like a free course. It's a lot of resources out there, so there's no excuses why you're not winning. I want you guys for now to go ahead and drop what pairs you guys want me to look at. I really only look at about 3 to 5 specific things, and then I kind of just move on from there. But we didn't really actually get into the entire week. That's my bad. I kind of like rambled off a bit. But you know, Monday we don't have any red folders. I'm really looking for these red folders. Tuesday, not really much on a radar, but I am gonna like actually still like pay attention that we have IMF meetings all day. So here's the thing, like, it's not a red folder, but the fact that like all these people are speaking all in one day, like FOMC member Kashkari, Kugler, right? I doubt like it really has too much impact, but you never know, right? You never know when people speak, right? It always has an influence, and you never know what they're really gonna say. So it looks pretty clean up until Wednesday, Tuesday, or like late Tuesday, Wednesday. On Wednesday though, we do have the flash manufacturing PMI. This was previously came out higher. What flash manufacturing PMI is, for you guys that don't know, this is the level of a diffusion index based on the surveyed purchasing managers in the manufacturing industry. So to dumb it down, it's like how many the managers in the manufacturing industry. It's an index that measures you know, how the economic health of these businesses are doing. So it's a leading indicator, like showing how businesses can react quickly to the market conditions, and their purchasing managers basically hold perhaps like the most current and relevant insight into the company's view of the economy. So that's just flash manufacturing PMI for you. It is actually forecasted to come out lower than previous. If this comes out lower than previous, it actually means more bearish dollar. If it comes out higher than previous, then that would actually mean good for the currency, so we would be in a bullish dollar. But again, I see it's predicted, forecasted to come out lower, which does kind of match our long-term bearish dollar bias here. So I don't see anything changing the trend that we're currently in right now. So if any of you guys on here are like looking for reversals and stabbing, you know, little falling knives and tops and whatnot, I don't really see that happening as of right now, us being on here on Sunday. By all means, things can definitely change. But we do have unemployment claims at 5:30 a.m. on Thursday. So some of you guys may be sleeping, but just be aware, like if you're going to sleep on any positions, that you might wake up to something that you might want to see or might not want to see. I personally would not go to sleep on any positions heading into the unemployment claims unless I'm probably already in profit at break even or whatnot. Friday we do have core retail sales, but that's for the CAD. So for the most part, just pay attention to like midweek, Tuesday through Thursday. We're really gonna hammer the week hard. The beginning of the week, right? So, and a lot of the news is pointing towards continued bearish dollar, so we want to go ahead and lean towards that direction as well. We'll go ahead and like remove all the drawings and whatnot. I do see there's a lot of traders on here. Like for the most part, if you already trade and you know have your own strategy like built up, and you're like still trying to like learn my strategy, when it comes down to it, I do use like 3 different indicators. Now for the most part, I'll be marking stuff up on a naked chart, but from time to time y'all see me turn on one of these indicators from time to time. So I wanted to really see the volume, but we can't see it on this chart. But one of the first things I do is look at the bigger time frames on the monthly, right? We've actually been bearish dollar since like ever since this run after 85, right? Like after that it's been straight down for the dollar. That's like when you zoom out on the monthly. When you go down to the weekly, right, we're definitely getting some of that similar price action. The market structure is creating those lower lows and lower highs, and right here is another prime example of us creating that lower high. So structurally, from a long-term standpoint, we are definitely still bearish. Now when we go to like a daily time frame, we do see that clearly happening here, and we do see that, you know, it's trading pretty clean towards the downside. So this right here would have been like our head and shoulders or distribution. I like to call it a distribution because we were trending up and then we consolidated for a little bit, distributed, broke, retest, and we've been clean trading down ever since. And even after this spike over here, we were still continuing to go bearish because we knew overall, right, that when it comes down to it, until we get clean like consolidation and breakout and retest like a distribution, that's what our strategy is like really based off of. Wyckoff. A lot of people trade smart money, right? Drop a 2 in the chat if you consider yourself a smart money trader, like you know, trade like the banks. You trade like the banks. You use supply and demand. You use institutional candles, right? We all do. I'm gonna drop a 1 in the chat myself because I consider myself also one of those traders as well that trades smart money mindset, smart money, supply and demand concepts, ICT concepts, right? Who trades ICT concept? Who, right? I'll definitely say some of you guys are capping on here. I know a lot of you guys on here watched ICT concepts, and there's nothing wrong with it. He's a great trader or a great educator, as some would say. But you know, I want you guys to like really understand Wyckoff as well. A lot of you guys that are my students also understand this as well. It's like the market is either trending, accumulating, or distributing. And after the distribution, we pretty much trend in that direction until we get another accumulation. And same vice versa. If we're trending up, right, we usually don't get another downtrend until, you know, we get that distribution, that consolidation that lets us know that, you know, we're actually going ahead and the market is switching directional biases. When it comes down to it, by all means, you can catch, you know, buys in a down market. You know, like, you know, you could have caught like this buy right over here. But those are not the type of trades we're looking at, right? You could have profited during those type of things, but you don't want to live in what ifs. You know, there's human error too, so you might not have closed or took in enough profits, or it might have really also messed with you mentally. So you really want to only be buying in a trending upwards market and selling in a downwards market. So for now, we have no sign of accumulation. So we pretty much just been trending down ever since. And that's why I haven't shifted my bias on the dollar. It's remained pretty bearish, even though we've had several like little nice attempts like over here, right? We've traded into a demand zone and then slightly pretty much just like bought up a little there. Even here, right, after seeing this 1 hour engulfing, right, some of you might have just saw that and said, oh well, look, the market dropped, it's low, and we got an engulfing and we got a nice dip. And technically, like from a technical standpoint, that setup was correct, right? Like we were entering a demand zone right over here. we were in discount, so price did retrace theoretically like more than 50%, like almost 88.6% if I draw the fib correctly. So everything was on the dot, even the 1 hour and the 4 hour collided. So the confirmations were there, but you know, from a standpoint, we just left distribution. So after we leave distribution, right, we cannot, like, until we see a clear break accumulation like formed, until we see that schematic actually completed and formed, then we're not in a bullish market, we're in a bearish market still. And again, even though that buy was perfect and all the confirmations were right then and there, we don't want to be taking buys and selling markets. We don't want to be taking sells and buying markets. So that right there is a perfect example of, like, you could have all the confirmations and you can have a perfect setup, but if you don't understand Wyckoff, you don't understand volume, and you don't understand what cycle of the market we're in, you know, what's the directional bias on a long-term macro outlook, combining things like fundamental news and things like that, and utilizing your smart money entries, right? Imagine how far you can really go. You can really swing. You can really swing, which is why I'm even like putting you guys onto these live brokers, because in trading you're supposed to really, like, less is more. Am I right or wrong? Less is more. So, you know, imagine if you could hold some of your winners out, like, especially when we're trending like this, and you know, you catch buys on things like gold or, you know, any other pair. You're selling the dollar ultimately. And imagine, you know, you were in this trade and you didn't have to look for other setups, right? And you took profit and you actually managed your money in the proper way, where you scaled out and you're still holding some at break even, right? You wouldn't even be like on this call like looking for trades. You'd be on this call maybe just chilling, right? Like some of my students are. But you know, sometimes you probably would just be chilling and you're not even on the call. So when it comes down to it, like, you guys gotta, like, take those things in mind. Right? I know people that are holding buys from gold, right, from down here, and like they don't even have to look at the chart. They still trade. When I say they don't have to look at the chart, don't like use that against them either, because you know, I would still trade, but the way that you're trading from is way different. You're printing anyways, regardless. So you're not gonna really rush into getting into another trade, and you're not gonna be so antsy on your next trade. You're coming at the market from a different perspective. So I want you guys to, like, really learn how to manage your trades right. Some of you guys catch the best entries, but you don't know how to manage them. I have a 15-minute video in my course specifically called Trade Management. Drop a 2 if you watched that video and you've gotten at least some value from it. Right? Maybe there's some of my students on the course. I've seen some of you guys on here, so I hope you guys did watch it. So I better see that too. But if you didn't watch that video, you know, go ahead, and I want you guys to go ahead and actually lock into the course. I might actually drop it for free, but if I drop it for free, I'm gonna have to make a version 2 updated video for my course students, and technically the one on YouTube will be outdated. So if I ever do actually decide to drop that video on YouTube, it's not going to be the trade management style that I use anymore. It's probably going to be the version 1. So when it comes down to it, go ahead and, you know, actually pay for the membership too. Like, you know, actually go in, pay for the premium, and those that pay, they really pay attention. Those that pay really get that proximity and that access. I don't know about you guys, but even still up to this day, like whenever I make money trading and stuff like that, and make money from other businesses or sales, like what I still buy other people's things, like other people's communities and chats, right? Traders and mentors that I look up to. And some of you guys think that you're too good to do that. You're too good of a trader where you don't have to network, you don't have to learn more, you don't have to be on these calls anymore, right? I never had that mindset, which is why I'm continually still here, while majority of the trading mentors that you may have started with are not even here now anymore, are not even educating now anymore, or they are, but maybe they're not really doing that good, or maybe they're not really active with you guys. When it comes down to it, I give you guys so much for free that, you know, this beats a lot of people's paid memberships. A lot of people's paid memberships, when you pay for their things, it's not as good as what I'm giving you guys for free. So just imagine how it is on the inside when you actually pay for the premium and you actually get over 40 plus hours of on-demand content and premium trade ideas, trade sessions. Some of you guys that are actually in the community, you guys can actually vouch for yourselves in the chat. And some of you guys that I tag on on my stories and whatnot, you guys can message my students and ask them yourself. You guys can see these are real people paying real money to get real access to real information that's going to make them real money. I don't know where else you could find that. But when it comes down to it, guys, that was the dollar, really. I don't really have much else on the dollar, but as well as gold, I was actually looking at gold. But there's really nothing else you could really say about gold but bullish, right? I'm not going to be looking in any other direction except for the bullish direction. We do have to be a little careful, but I'm still going to be buying as normal until something tells me otherwise. So I don't really see anything that's telling me otherwise right now, unless we get a break of structure midweek on like the 1 hour that tells me otherwise. I would actually look to remain in the buying direction. The closest region I really see is this 3320 level here at this 1 hour demand candle. But even then, we're gonna have to really hone in on like the lower time frames during the New York session to really gain those live entries. Like over here, if we were here at the 30-minute candle on Friday, or no, Thursday, you know, I would have actually taken that attempt right there at that engulfing, and that would have been at least a 1 to 5, 1 to 8. I didn't actually take that setup right then and there, but when it comes down to it, we do trade live on New York sessions. The New York sessions are actually for the premium community, so I don't go live on YouTube for free anymore. I used to go live on YouTube for free all the time, and you guys used to always come on here and eat, you know, but when it comes down to it, it's not free anymore. Alright, that's it. I understand what I have access to, and I understand like the power of me trading live, so that's it. As far as NASDAQ goes, I actually am still trying to look for some buys here. You know, it's really tricky because we're in like late Asian session right now, and it's kind of like getting closer to London. I do actually see the possibility of us filling this imbalance too. So don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong, guys. Like, long term, I still want to be bullish the NASDAQ. And if I see like a buying opportunity happen sometime, like even this week, like I'm always open-minded to buying the NASDAQ, because think about it. I want you guys to actually go ahead and think about the stock market, all these type of things. Think about how it works. Insurance policies, IULs. Drop a 1 in the chat if you know about life insurance. Drop a 2 if you don't know about life insurance. We can go down the rabbit hole as well. And what does life insurance have to do with trading? What does life insurance have to do with the stock market? these life insurance policies like are really backed by the stock market. And a lot of the times when you're putting money into these policies, it also goes into the stock market as well. So, and even a lot of the times when people default on these policies, or when people die and like they don't claim, like, and they don't have like the beneficiary set up properly and whatnot, like there's so many loopholes where people could liquidate money from the stock market with life insurance policies. So, or even inject money into the stock market with life insurance policies. I am actually like, you know, I do a lot of things as well, and like the thing is, a lot of you guys know this too. I am a Florida realtor, so I am real estate licensed in Florida. But I also took the time to get my health and life insurance license as well. I don't really promote it like publicly, like, oh, like, that's like my full-time thing. But I also have the license in that as well. I am probably looking to get my Series 6 and Series 7 investing licenses, like maybe even this year or next year, right? Just to kind of like keep myself studying, learning new things. But again, like there is the possibility here that we do drop lower on NASDAQ and actually come down and fill this imbalance. I want you guys to keep that like in your mind, because the monthly candle does close here in 9 days, and you know, it can wake up here, but seeing how it did close as an engulfing, where I do probably expect this to look to fill that wick. If it wanted to buy up from here, I feel like this week would have to be it. If it's not, then we're probably just going to continue in the bearish side. That's just my perspective. I don't even like, obviously I do see buys like all the way down here, but like here's the thing, you don't want to like be so hard pressed married to like a certain bias, right? The market has been pretty bearish here, and we do want to remember that continuations over reversals are like key, right? We don't want to always be banking on reversals. And from the 4-hour time frame, like we do look pretty bearish, and we are maintaining that structure. So I don't like, I'm gonna have my levels here. I'm gonna have my alerts set, but keep in mind, if I see any taps or any like sells to buy, I would definitely take those sells, because let's say we wait all week and we actually do decide to buy down here, and like that trade doesn't really play out, you know, now all of a sudden like we missed out on all these sells, and like there's no point in even buying again. Like what are we gonna do, just keep buying and buying and buying, right? That's not a good way to really trade. I mean, I'll tell you guys what, I caught a banger of a trade on this buy down here on NAS for the FOMC. This was the cleanest setup that you could have ever seen, and I was actually able to flip a $500 account to a good amount of money and withdraw it the same day, all on MT5 on the next tradeway broker. 1 to 500 leverage, $500 account, and I had my risk like set accordingly as well. So that's the power of just one trade. And I could have still been holding this trade too. I could have also swung it and had a little bit of you know, I could have had like at least a little bit of a trade like holding, but it was such a good RR that, you know, I went ahead and just closed out. So yeah, that's pretty much my bias. I'll probably look to keep selling to buy, selling to buy, selling to buy. New York session will probably give us a lot more of like what we're looking at. But that's gold and NAS. I really only look at gold and NAS, but I did say I was going to look at some of you guys' pairs. So I'll be on here for another 10 to 15 minutes answering questions and going over your guys' pairs. If you guys have any currencies that you guys want me to look at, go ahead and drop it in the chat. I see my guy just said EJ, so I'll just go ahead and look at EJ as well. You know, that's what I'm on here for you guys to do. I'm here to like mark up these things so you guys can understand them and trade them as well. So for EJ, you know, I'm gonna look at it as well. When it comes down to it, I probably would look to remain on the bullish side of things. Yen is really like a safe haven pair, so whenever, like, you know, whenever things are going bad, like yen is also like a safe haven for the economy. So yeah, I would look to remain bullish, unless like something has to happen. I mean, we're at good like levels here. And on the 1 hour, we do kind of look bearish, though, I'm not gonna lie. Like for tonight speaking, we might actually be bearish. Like we might have to actually remain bearish just for us to like clear this imbalance down here. I feel like this is reaccumulation, this little range that we're in. If you can see right over here, like this, so this right here was like our accumulation. We got this spring, and then we retested that. Beautiful price action. And then, you know, we've been buying up ever since. And this right here, I see that as just like, you know, another opportunity for you guys to stack on entries. So any like retest of that, this imbalance would be great. So like if we can retest that spring, that bottom of that range, this reaccumulation will play out very nicely. So that's EURJPY. I'm gonna look at EG and then UJ, EURGBP. We are actually starting to go bullish here, which is pretty cool to see. You know, EJ looks like one of those like cryptos that just popped up. Yeah, I mean, I don't see any bearishness to be like concerned about. Actually would remain bullish here. So, and I think Starboy dropped the trade on EJ as well. So yeah, there we go. Now I see UJ. UJ has been on a heavy downtrend. You know, a lot of people are buying into this. A lot of people are continually buying into this. With us being bearish the dollar, I would buy yen pairs, but it's like UJ in itself might be really following along with the dollar right now, and that's okay. It might not be like solely following the other yen pairs. It really could be just actually going ahead and following the dollar. So that's something to keep in mind. Even though like we're pretty bearish here, like, you know, I wouldn't see anything changing that. I don't know, unless we, like, here's the thing, we could react here and we can take buys from this level, which I do like a lot. But what would our risk to, like, what would our stop loss be? Like, our stop loss would have to be like so big, and we'd have to like risk so much on here that it's like, yeah, it would look good on Instagram to catch this entry, but it wouldn't it wouldn't be healthy for our mindset or our accounts, if that makes sense. So yeah, there is a possibility for buys in this region, but we want to wait for it to actually form and give us something. Let's say, you know, when you have a big area like that on the daily and the 4 hour that we look at, I like to mark that level but zoom down on the lower time frames. And let's say on like the 1 hour or the 30-minute, we actually touch that region and get like a solid little mini break of structure, retest, and then a little mini structure play in that higher time frame zone, utilizing higher time frame entries but also taking lower time frame attempts. That right there would be something I would probably take for the buy if I see something on a lower time frame form but still confirming that higher time frame. That right there would be like the only possible way you'd see me get into UJ. That would probably happen live in real time on like a New York session or a London session. Probably not right now, but after that happens, like, still, right, I would still be bearish ultimately, right? We would have to break at least 1 hour structure for me to flip and say that we're fully back bullish. So that's just like utilizing structure. Even though you may know about like supply and demand and smart money and all these different types of candles, if you really understand Wyckoff and structure, you know, add that to your arsenal. And I have a really good structure breakdown video in my course. Like, it's one of the most elite videos. It's at least 30 minutes long, going over like advanced structure, verifying structure, different time frames to look at structure and how they line up, and how to line up your higher time frame and your lower time frame analysis to create that pattern, that overlap. So you get overlapping setups. You get a setup that confirms on the 4 hour, the 1 hour, and the 5 minute. That right there is like an overlapping setup, and sometimes it's like an A+ setup, as long as it's overlapping even multiple times. The more times the better, right? So if you guys are in the Profit Society, I think in the free, I think even on the free course, right, I give everybody access to a free course, and I think even on the free portion, mistake me if I'm wrong, like, let me see if I could preview as a visitor. Yeah, I think like even on the free, when you guys go on to, I have a day trading mini course. So even if you join for free, right, you guys could still get like, at least, this right here is only like 10% of my course. Not even, like 5% of my course. So what I do is I give like that first little intro section of my course away for free. And I actually do have that video there, the advanced structure. But, you know, for you guys that do have the paid membership and you guys are in the premium, let me see if I could show you guys. You know, the paid community does come with the private network, but I want to show you guys the actual paid course, right? It goes on from there. So there's a couple of videos that, you know, these presentations like I made myself that really go in depth on the market. Like, you know, I know for a fact this this PowerPoint right here, I created this all on my own. Then I have a crypto course, So I also really went in depth on crypto as well. I have a full curriculum here with my entire portfolio, meme coins, long term, NFTs, staking. Like, it's a full ecosystem here. You can learn how to trade, and then once you learn how to trade, you'll learn how to actually master the crypto markets and invest that money back and grow it long term. Like, this info right here is enough to make 6 figures. So if you're questioning the price behind, like, damn, like, should I pay for this? Is this really worth it? Right? I've actually had students hit 6 figures, and I have students that have their own courses now even, and like Zay, for example, like, and I don't even mind even like saying it, because they'll tell you themselves. Anybody that's a student knows, like, the value in here alone is worth way more than 6 figures, worth way more than how much you're paying to get access. And for me, when I started, you know, I used to pay like $175 a month, right? Who remembers the IM days? You know, drop a 2 in the chat if you were in the business back then, where you got started and you were paying that $175 a month. You were paying that $200 a month, and you were consistently paying that. Right? Imagine that you were consistently paying that, and actually, you know, doing that. I mean, for me, you guys don't know, but you know, I was 15 when I started, so a lot of people make excuses as to why they can't pay that amount of money. Even sometimes myself, somebody asked me to pull out $175 a month, I'm like, damn, like, I don't really know if I want to do that. But you know, I made no excuses. I used to pay that, you know, and I was still in high school. So for you guys that are like making excuses, it's not excuses. You are an investor. Everybody's an investor in any way. That same $500 that you have right now in your account, everybody's an investor. You invest in different ways. What are you investing with your time? Your time is an investment. What are you doing with it? Are you watching TV, or are you watching a course that can help you make money? Are you, you know, with your money, like, what are you investing into, right? What are you eating? That's an investment, right? What you watch is an investment. What you listen to, and again, like, what you spend your money on, that is also an investment. You're investing every single thing that you do, what you look at every single day, you know, what you drink, that's an investment. So what are you going to invest into this year? And don't tell me, oh, I'm going to invest into Bitcoin, I'm going to invest into XRP, I already got my plan, I'm going to invest into a new trading account, I'm going to invest into this, and that, I'm going to buy this property, I'm going to buy this car, I'm going to flip it, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. But the biggest investment you can make is in yourself. 100%, hands down. Hands down. Because your return on investment is always 100%. Always 100%. You could invest into a trading account and lose it all tomorrow. You can invest into crypto and then lose it all. But you invested into yourself. That money that I spent buying into, you know, like, for example, my guy Gus's community, right? Just bought into that too as well. Think about it. Like, I had to spend money to do that, but, you know, think about it. That's an investment that I will be able to get something back from. 100%. That's gonna pour into myself. That's gonna help grow myself. So any other future investments I make, any other future trades I make, is gonna be better because I invested that into myself, instead of keep on trying to invest more and more and more into trading, keep on trying to invest more and more into different things, and it's not working. You gotta sit back and invest into yourself. And like, even if you're already in the course, right, invest and buy a one-on-one session with me, right? You know, you guys already know that I'm willing to hop on one-on-one sessions with you guys, and a lot of times even for free I hop on with you guys. You know that, and a lot of you guys know that. Like, I'm always here. You know, even some of you guys that are not in the course, like, y'all get a lot out of me. Free trades in my Telegram chat, like, you guys get a lot out of me for free. But you know, if you pay, I promise you, you'll get the value of what it's worth, and the connections and everything that's after that is well worth it. So with that being said, I urge you guys to hop onto the WAP tonight, start watching the videos, and you know, when it comes down to it, I know a lot of you guys used to be in the Profit Society in the past too. A lot of you guys used to be in it in the past when it was like a monthly subscription. I just want to let you guys know right now that all of you guys that were a part of it back then, you know, I'll definitely give you guys a discount to get back started if finances are an issue. But when it comes down to it, I'm not really even doing the subscription model anymore. I'm doing it a little bit different, right? So right now it's like yearly. So anybody that bought my course, Currency Connect, is automatically like inside the Profit Society. But I'm actually like adding different stuff. So you guys will have access to like one portion of the Profit Society, but once I add what I'm getting ready to add, I'm gonna actually turn it into high ticket. So it's not gonna be like $50 a month, that low price that you guys love, that you guys have been able to get into like for cheap. Like, you know, I know I can get a lot of popularity and a lot of customers like that, but I don't really even care for that anymore. I've been doing this for so long, right? I've taught thousands of people from all across the world, globally. When I say globally, I mean it. I mean US, you know, different countries, Germany, Spain, France, like Africa. Like, if you guys are not in the US, go ahead and drop your country in the chat. I bet you there's some of you guys in here that are international as well. So, you know, I've taught loads. So I don't really care for more followers or more students or any of that. My main focus is to literally hammer the markets hard on the live markets this year. And, you know, depending on my performance, it's gonna still remain yearly, but it's gonna be high ticket. Like, it's gonna be more than like $1,000, $2,000 to like work with me per year. So right now, the fact that right now it's under $1,000 to get pretty much like everything that I'm offering you guys, and like I'm even giving you guys access to my network, like, you guys are insane. Like, that's a lot. So when it comes down to it, it's gonna be high ticket. It's gonna be like that $2,000 to get started. But, you know, we'll also have more money in the company. This is gonna do a lot of things, right? It's gonna have money in the company account. You know, we could hire more people, right? You guys already know when we first started the company, it was just me, Skaggs, and Abel. And, you know, we did great. But, you know, we're just traders. Like, we literally are just traders at the end of the day. To grow this to a company, like really like a company, this right here is still like a concept. It's great. It's doing great. But if we want to get this like on stadiums and stages and, you know, on commercials, on TV and stuff like that, like, we definitely are going to need more staff. And right now it's just me. I'll just be honest with y'all. It literally is just me. Like, you know, Skaggs is doing his own thing. Abel is also educating on his own thing, right? You guys probably still tap in with them from time to time. And, you know, they just be chilling too. Like, a lot of the other traders, you know, as the years go on and you make more money, like, you don't even have to necessarily teach. Like, we really just do it because we want to. But again, like, I have big visions and big goals for this. So, you know, by you guys contributing to that, it's only gonna help you guys and give you guys more opportunities to like even be on the team with me and be on the back end. Like, I'm gonna need like moderators. I'm gonna need admins. right? I'm gonna need developers. I'm gonna need sales agents, engineer. Like I technically need these things right now. I'm gonna be honest. And if any of you guys are willing to contribute, by all means, like please reach out either on Instagram or in the Discord or in the Telegram. And if your experience is there and you're a professional person, not only just that, but like if I like you as a person, like I really have to like you to want to bring you on the team. If I really do like you, then you know, I'm all open doors. I'm all open doors. Anybody that has been able to work alongside me knows that. Sometimes people take that for granted and take advantage of that, which is why I've been so like quiet and it's on my own timing. But again, I'm back. Profit Society is back. It hasn't went nowhere. So what I'm gonna go ahead and do is I want everybody to drop a like and subscribe to this stream right now. I see 15 of you guys on, but only 12 likes. So I need everybody to go ahead and drop that like right now. Drop a sub, turn on the notifications, become a part of the notification gang, because I'm going to do random streams here and there. And I'm going to be featuring a lot of different traders. I'm going to be putting different content up for you guys. And I don't want it to go in vain. I want this to go far. I want you guys to take action on everything that I told you guys on this call. I want you guys to watch these recordings and actually, you know, get into the courses. Actually register for your accounts. Fund up. Hop on the charts. Take these trades with me. And again, it's as simple as daylight. Me, what I would be doing when I started, I would be on these calls, 16 years old, getting my paycheck and funding up and marking up charts and getting off and still watching lessons. Like that's how into the craft I was. And that's why I'm still here. That's why I'm still majorly connected and still growing. So I want you guys to be here with me. And with that being said, like honestly, we're gonna go ahead and like really like end it off. If you got some value from the stream, I want you to drop a 777 in the chat. Now, when it comes down to it, it's on WAP. Everything is on WAP. So everything is going to be directly to the WAP. And I have somebody that's going to be working on the website too, soon even. So there's a lot of things going on right now that's like, yo, like, this website developer is like lit. And it's like, you guys have to like understand how much like time, energy, and money it takes to do these type of things. So, which is why some people like don't even do them anymore. But I'm gonna continue to be here. If you guys got some value, again, go crazy with the 7s in the chat. I appreciate all of you guys. Join my free Telegram chat. It's right here. Go ahead and drop it in the chat. We also have the Profit Society Telegram. All the links are in the description of this video. Go ahead, hop into the description, click the links, join the community. Let's all have a great week on the chart. Drop a 777 in the chat. And that's all for me, guys. Appreciate it. And I'll see you guys at the top or from the top, because the bottom is way too crowded. Let's get it, guys. Hit me up on IG if you have any questions. You can even hit up the company page. I have full access to everything, so I'll hit you guys back.